We are putting a hold on the regularly scheduled episodes for this important week, Shark Week. Ever since I was a kid, sharks have fascinated me. We didn't have cable TV growing up, and Shark Week came on the Discovery Channel, so friends of ours would tape them on these old plastic blocks called VHS tapes. This was almost 30 years ago, back before DVDs, because Moose Jaw Matt is getting up there in years, you know? Anyway, I would watch them over and over. After all these years, I still enjoy sharks. When people ask me my favorite animal, I tell them it's the shark. They are streamlined, torpedo-shaped large fish with speed and power. There's something special about the way a shark weaves its way through the water with its tail's back and forth motion. And there's so much to learn about these amazing animals. I still don't get Discovery Channel in my house, but I am pleased to celebrate Shark Week 2021 with you here on Nature and Science for Kids.
Hey Steve, how are you?
I'm good, Seth. And yourself?
I've done well. I survived being chased by a shark yesterday. Yep, I'm still alive, so I'm doing well. It isn't easy being a stingray, but it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I sure do.
Ah, what was that?
I think it's a shark overhead. Time to get in the sand and hide.
It's a hammerhead! There's no escape! Swim for your life!
Those stingrays didn't have a chance. Do you know why? Because hammerhead sharks can detect prey even if it's hidden in the sand. To detect means to find, and all 10 hammerhead shark species can do it. Before we get to that, let's talk about hammerhead sharks. What an unusual name. They get the name hammer, head sharks, because their heads are shaped a bit like a hammer on either side. Their eyes stick out way out on the sides of their flattened heads. So, researchers and curious people have wanted to know for years and years, what's the purpose of their unusually shaped heads? There have been good guesses as to why. The shape of the head may help them swim better, improve their smell, improve their electroreceptivity, and may improve their vision. Fortunately, some people thought it was important enough to find out. Do you know what they did? They asked the sharks why they have flat heads. Do you know what the sharks said? Well, we still don't know what they answered because afterward the sharks ate the person. Just kidding. There were researchers, and they survived, at least we think so, and this is at least part of what they have found out so far. Hammerheads' eyes, by being wider on their heads, does help them see better. They have what is called binocular vision to the front, with just a slight side-to-side movement of the head, which is what they do when they swim. They can see almost entirely behind them. And most amazing to me, they can see 360 degrees in the vertical plane. That means they can see entirely above them and entirely below them. So you cannot hide from a hammerhead's eyes unless you are right behind the tail, basically. Aha, those stingrays thought they were so clever to hide in the sand out of sight completely. Unfortunately for them, the hammerhead shark also has what's called ampullae of Lorenzini. You'll probably hear that term again this week, so try to remember it. Ampullae of Lorenzini. Sharks have another sense that we don't. In addition to the usual 5 senses of smell, sight, taste, touch, and being able to hear, they can also detect electrical impulses. Batteries, phones, TVs, toasters, even metal, it all puts out electrical signals. Animals do too. Your heart, your muscles, you put out electrical signals. All living things have signals that a shark can detect. Hammerheads aren't the only sharks that have ambuli lorenzini, but they could have more because of their wider, flat heads. Those stingrays underneath the sand give off electrical signals that hammerheads can detect. Those stingrays might as well have been laying out in broad daylight for the sharks to see, because with the ampullae of Lorenzini, the sharks could practically see them completely out in the open. Have you ever walked into a room and knew that someone had burnt popcorn? Your nose and brain work together to know what's there, or what has happened, before you can see it sometimes, like burnt popcorn. Well, hammerhead sharks, and all sharks really, can do the same thing, but in a different way. They can tell that something is alive just by being around it. Aren't you glad sharks aren't interested in eating people? They know you're there swimming if they are around you in the ocean. But 99.9% of the time, that means almost all the time, they swim away from you. They swim away from us. And I'm glad for that. Now, shark lovers, it's time for a quiz. Question number 1. How many hammerhead species are there? 10. Question 2. What's one way their flat heads help them? They can see better and probably detect prey better with their electroreceptors. Question 3. What's the name of their electro-sensing organs? Ampullae lorenzini. I know that's a tough one. Question 4. Can sharks tell that you're around even if they can't see you? Yes, with those ampullae of lorenzini. They know you're there. And finally, the 5th question. Do sharks love to eat people? No, they almost always swim the other way. Emma from Pennsylvania asked a question.
How can a shark keep swimming while it's sleeping?
That's an excellent question, but instead of me answering, I'm going to let Edmund answer it.
Sharks don't sleep the way we do, but they do be restful during some parts of the day. And they keep their eyes open, so that way they can see if there's any meals coming their way.
Please check out our shop on moosejawmat.com for a wonderful selection of books about sharks. Finally, look at our Facebook page to see if you're today's winner for shark stickers. Please leave a review and let me know that you have for a chance to win realistic shark stickers. Next up on Shark Week.
No! It's the most feared shark in the sea.
Thank you for joining me as we get Shark Week started here on Nature and Science for Kids.